And before you know it, July is almost over. But it's been a hot summer, and we're just chucking along at it, trying to maintain our sense of coolness during a time of hotness. But it's okay, you know, it's all about the changes of the season and just enjoying what we can out of it. So between taking in a little bit of thrifting and also continuing to work on this farmhouse, it has been an exciting summer, but we're not done yet. But I am going to fill you in with some updates in this video, not to mention other simple little changes I did around the house. My name is Jamela. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Living the Lifestyle of the Thrift and Famous, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And I do love my little popcorn visits back at home. I did go back to Jersey to celebrate a birthday for my cousin, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time. So those are the things that, you know, that you kind of like want to enjoy in life when you get a chance to get away for a few minutes, for a few moments, and create new moments with your family and your friends. It's so important to do this in life right now. Like I said, there's so much madness going on. So what little moments I can steal away, I enjoy every bit of them. Sometimes you find the oddest places to hang something, and I found a place for my mask, and that was the doorknob. Gave it a nice little uptick, but I wasn't sure if I shared that with you, so I figured why not just pop it in real quick and show you what I did with it. And the idea came about because it used to hang where this mirror is hanging, and when I went to go hang the mirror, I took the mask down and I just hung it on the doorknob because it had that oval opening, and I just hung it there. And then I took it away, and then I thought about it and said, well, wait a minute, why take it away? It looks pretty good hanging on the doorknob. So yeah, that's how that came about. And my foyer, it's made such a major transformation from when we first moved here, and then over time as I started changing my style to the Afro-Bohemian style. So yeah, I like how it has transformed and became the catalyst for my style when you walk into my home. And again, using all thrifted finds. And on the thrifting scene, I did pick up these two botanical prints, and then this one particular vintage picture that I kind of took a liking to because it reminded me of the one already hanging in my bedroom. The two botanicals were $5 for both of them, and this was $15, but I got a senior discount, so I wound up paying $13 for it and decided to hang it into my bedroom. I've always wanted to do kind of like a small wall gallery in here, so I placed it under this piece of art that I've had for many years. So as I was hanging it, I said it still needs something else in that spot. So I went hunting and I dug out these candelabras that I've had for a while, and they were cheap too. But I decided to add them on the wall, and it filled in the space quite nicely. So yeah, I'm digging this kind of quick, less than $20 upgrade in this corner, because I always felt that one picture called Sharon's Blessing, I felt it needed something over in that spot there, just instead of just being by itself. So yeah, I think I like the way that looks. And even though it's a candelabra, the top one I put a candle in, but the bottom one I put a little piece of pothos clipping that I've been propagating. I figured I'd put it in there and see what it looked like, and not bad. But I'm trying to find those little cups that you insert into the candelabras. I had some. I cannot find them. I'm going to start really hunting for them so I can put it actually in a cup. So anyway, but yeah, that's my little take on a wall gallery in the bedroom. And the other botanical I hung in my bathroom for that little spot there to give it more of the old world charm that I have going on in there. And it looks perfect. I like that those were already framed and matted, so that was a plus with buying those. I added another plant in here because I just had to. Anyway, it made a nice little difference in that chinoiserie style. Well, it's actually like what they call satsuma. That planter, I found that at in the backyard. At the renter was moving out, and it was in a bunch of dirt in the backyard. So I saw it, spotted it, cleaned it up, and put a plant inside of it. Oh, and I also welcomed a new little baby in the family. Now I've tried to grow this plant two other times, and it failed me. One was in my little terrarium. However, I'm going to give it another chance. So wish me luck on this plant, and I added it on top of the foyer table, and it, hopefully it'll appreciate my love and care and behave itself. And now on to the farmhouse project. Well, look at all this bush area that came back from when we first cleared it out. So that had to be addressed again. And for everyone new here, this is the farmhouse that we purchased. It was built in the mid 1800s, like around 1820. And we are in the process rehabbing this house. And in the last video, I shared the new porch that was added on to the front of the house. And now it's starting to look like a real house because the vinyl siding is up. Yay! But anyway, yes, it has really taken on a new look now, and we are really excited that at least the outside is winding down. Now, mind you, the inside is still in disarray, but that's, again, the step we wanted to get the outside done. So yeah, more wood had to come off the side of the house because it was actually more rotten and buckling, and he could not put on the vinyl siding on especially that side of the house. So most of that wood came off, and then he had to put more plywood back up and get the siding completed. So here we are looking at the front of the house and how it's starting to look and take on new shapes. Another area that had to be addressed was the steps along with the walkway path that, connected to the steps. If you can see here, there is a dip in the concrete because the steps actually drop down from sitting so long. So that gap there needed to be filled up. But once we leveled out the concrete, then it would raise the steps up. So since the steps were in great condition, they decided to just move the steps and then repair the concrete and put the steps back up, and that will take care of that whole leveling issue. So here it is where they moved it all out, and then he cleaned out the pathway area that needed to be filled in. And he really did a great job, and God knows in that hot sun. So I commend him for actually working towards the evening hours, because it has been like 100 degrees during the day, 105 at some point. So him taking on this and doing it at night and leveling it off gets a big kudos for that and getting the job done. So I really appreciate the guys that are working on this house so diligently and making sure everything looks good, because it's so important to have people you trust and that can do the job and not overcharge you, but want to see the house done just like you do. And now in the daytime we could see it more clearer as it dried, and also he repaired one of the pillars on the corner there, that left corner. It needed to be replaced, so that was taken care of, because initially, even though the house felt very sound, but once we got everything out and started demoing a lot, you start to realize it really needed more support. So as we were looking at more of the beams, the pillars that were holding up the house, many of them had to be redone. So yeah, he took on that task, and I was glad that that was done along with the concrete on the steps. So see how it kind of was holding up, but it needed to be completely repaired. And that was taken care of. And all that wild bush that was growing, that was done again. We had that taken care of, pushed back. And actually, I want to try to get a fence to stop all of that from coming on our side of the yard. And we had a lot of the bricks and stuff removed that was loose, pushed in the back, because they will be repurposed again, and more cleaning out from under the house. You know, I just don't for the life of me understand why so much trash keeps coming around. I don't understand people that drop litter every freaking where, but it's just so annoying. But anyway, needless to say, we did get underneath more cleaning done underneath the house. So yeah, this is how it's going so far. And then we'll be addressing the front porch issue, the ceiling up there, and start to scrape that and paint it and get it looking good. All that's going to be taken care of hopefully this week or the week after. And then we can start moving on inside, waiting for the electrician. But here is what we're looking at thus far. And that's all I have to share so far. I hope you are enjoying this process along with me. I appreciate you following along and hanging in there, because this was one doozy of a house for us to work on. I think by far this is probably the biggest project. Well, other than our first house that we bought, which was a huge process too. But this is our second one that is a bit on this level of work that had to be done. But anyway, it's all good, because we are taking another eyesore off the block. Again, patience is a virtue throughout this whole process. But remember, as we chuck along with this, we're making this house into a home. Because remember, beauty is being home and loving it. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Living the Lifestyle of the Thrift and Famous. And if you like this video, don't forget to drop me a comment, like, and share. I'll see you again. Take care.